Hello, everybody. Welcome to call one of this session of Reach for the Stars. This is the goal setting session. My name is Julie Sherman. I'm a director from Southern Maine. I've been with Pampered Chef for over 15 years. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, I've got over 75 qualified career recruits. I've got over 500,000 in career sales. I earn trips. I've earned excellence. I am by no means the expert on everything, but I've been around long enough that I absolutely am able to help you with this goal setting piece. It's something I struggled with for a long time. So I'm curious, and one thing I'll tell you is this is a safe place to be completely open and honest. That is how we all get the most out of any training. So don't feel like, oh, I can't admit this, or oh, I'm ashamed, or nobody else is dealing with this, because everybody deals with the same issues, just at different times of your businesses. So please be open and honest, and that's how we're all going to be better at what we do. So the first question I want to ask everybody is, how many of you have ever set a goal with your Pampered Chef business? Doesn't matter how big or how small, but who has ever set a goal at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
Still thinking about it.
Okay. All right. So then setting a goal for your Pampered Chef business is going to be something new for everybody. Is that right? Nod, yes. This is new for everybody? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's start with, why do we set a goal? So why is it important that we set goals for anything? What do you think?
I guess to stay focused.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it as if you're going on a trip, you need to kind of know where you're going. You can't make a roadmap if you don't know where you're going. If you leave somewhere and like, all right, I'm just going to drive somewhere and hopefully I'll get somewhere good. Maybe you get there, maybe you don't, but you probably waste a lot of time along the way. So the reason that we set goals is so we know where we're going, and then we can work backwards to figure out how to get there. So that's the why. What I can tell you from personal experience, and I know I'm not alone, is a lot of us shy away from setting goals because we think, well, what if I fail? I never, ever used to set goals because I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to say I was going to do something and then not do it. It just wasn't on my to-do list. I literally never set goals for years. Anybody feel like that may be true for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. What I learned, and honestly, it wasn't even from what I did or didn't do within Pampered Chef. It was from just listening to different people out in the world. We learn more from failure than we do from success. We've probably all heard that, right? Okay. It can be a blow to your ego. So I remember watching an interview with Robin Williams quite a long time ago. And he was talking about, he would, all of his jokes, he was brilliant, right? Everybody thought he was brilliant. He was one of the best, one of the quickest thinkers on his feet. But if you ever heard him talk about it, he acknowledged that some of his jokes flopped. And you have to try big, and you have to fail big to win big. So it's got nothing to do with whether or not you're a good person. Setting a goal gives you a target, and not reaching the goal is okay. It doesn't mean you'll never get there. Maybe you change the time parameters. Maybe something else happened and you need to adjust your course. And that's okay. That is 100% okay. Because nobody ever gets anywhere in a straight line. Everything has zigs and zags, and we go backwards and we go forward. The only way that anybody fails at achieving their goal is if they quit. Okay? The only way we fail is if we quit. So as long as we keep going, we are going to succeed. So I think that is something that a lot of us struggle with, and being okay with setting a goal, being a little scared about it, thinking, holy crap, I don't think I can do this. That's that's okay. It should scare us a little bit because that means it's a challenge. And it can't be a real goal unless it challenges us a little bit and pushes us a little bit. Okay? So be okay with failing. And failing has such a negative connotation that maybe you change that. Maybe you change it to be okay with adjusting. Okay? But that's the first thing, because once you're okay with that, then there's nothing that can stop us. Okay? Once I got over that fear and realized it was okay to fail, that's when I was able to start doing more. And I still screw up. I still set goals and hit them, and it still pisses me off. But I still keep going. Okay? So, that being said, if you could have everything go perfectly for the next 2 months, think about what you want to achieve in your business in the next 2 months by the end of the year. Would it be adding people to your team? Would it be a certain amount of sales? Would it be earning a trip? What would it be? And dream big, like anything. If you could wave your magic wand and have everything fall into place, what do you want to have by the end of December? Take a second and then share.
Oh, gosh.
Anybody interested in adding people to your team?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you could have it perfect, how many people would you want to add to your team by the end of December?
3 or 4.
Awesome. I love it. Who else?
Same, 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yeah, same here.
All right. Anybody else have a different number?
Maybe 2.
Okay. So whatever your number is, whether it's 2, 3, 4, write it down. Okay. And we write it down in the present tense. And there's a lot of science that backs us up. Our brain believes what we tell it. So think back to high school. If you struggled in any class, I struggled in math, okay? I always told myself, oh, I suck at math. So I'd go into math class already feeling defeated and feeling like I was never going to get this, and the homework was always rough, and then I would do terribly on my tests and be like, see, I told you I suck at math. I didn't suck at math. I sucked at believing in myself, okay? So we say things positively and in the present tense. I added 4 people to my team. I added 2 people to my team. That's your goal, and that's the affirmation that you're going to say. And trust me, I used to hate that word, affirmations, all that stuff. I thought that was just like kind of out there. There is tons of science to back it up. Quick example. How many of you have ever watched Olympic gymnastics? Probably everybody has seen it at some point in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think of them when they're like warming up for the floor routine, like before, they're standing off to the side. What are they doing? They get their eyes closed and they're going through the routine in their head, right? You've all seen them do it. That's because they have it ingrained in their head and they've taught their brain, this is what I do, right? We do the same thing. So if we teach ourselves, I suck at recruiting, then that is what your brain is going to make sure happens. We all do it. It's a matter of recognizing it. Have your recruiter, your upline, a partner, somebody call you out on it. Give them permission to call you out when you are beaten down on yourself, okay? So recruiting. I recruited 4 people. I added 4 people to my team. I added 3 people to my team, whatever it is. Does everybody have it written down? Yeah? Okay. What about sales? What would you love to have each month? So in November and December, everything's perfect. You got 3 million people waiting to do parties with you. What would you each like to have in sales each month?
Like around 2,500.
Love it. That's great. Who else?
I would say around 2,500 as well.
Okay. What's everybody else?
25 and 3.
25 to 3. Perfect. What else?
I would say 3 or 4.
Okay. Same thing that we just did with recruiting. Write it down. Okay. I sell $3,000 a month. Even better, I sell at least $3,000 a month. I submit at least $2,500 a month. I submit at least $4,000 a month. Write it down. Excuse me 1 second. Right, make sure you have everything written down. Be right back. Okay. My apologies. Some of you have small kids. I have a dog and a cat. So now we know what our recruiting goals are and what our sales goals are. Okay. This is now when we work backwards. Okay. When we set goals, it's important that we set SMART goals. How many of you have ever heard that term before, a SMART goal?
I have.
Okay. You remember what it means? You remember what the letters stand for?
No.
Okay, and that's fine. That's why we're doing this. So SMART goals, and you can look it up, but, and I'm going to read right from, actually, you know what? I have it up here. I can share it with you. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, can everybody see this?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So specific, and this is what we just did. We did the specific part. It can't be, I'm going to recruit a handful of people to my team, or I'm going to sell more. Okay, specific. Okay, next one is measurable. And we did this. I'm going to recruit 3 new consultants to my team by the end of the month. I'm going to recruit I'm going to sell $2,500 per month. So it's measurable. Okay. The next part is achievable. You have all set very achievable goals. Saying that you're going to go, so let's say everybody's selling $1,000 in sales a month right now. If you were to say next month you're going to sell 10,000, it's achievable, but maybe not in a month. So you guys have all set very good, achievable, measurable goals. Relevant. Obviously, it's relevant to where you are in your business and what you're trying to do. Everyone's looking to grow. Everyone's looking to improve. So this is relevant. Okay. And then time bound. Anyone can set goals, but if it lacks realistic timing, chances are you're not going to succeed. Okay. So for example, going back to if you're going from $1,000 in sales a month or $500 in sales a month, if your goal is to get to 10,000 in sales a month, it's doable, but time bound and measurable. And how do we get there? Okay. So having a goal that makes sense, it's a SMART goal, is important, and being willing to take the risk is the other piece of that. All right, let me stop sharing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is work backwards from this. So let's look at the recruiting piece. How many of you, has anybody recruited anybody yet?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, my very first party.
You did? Congrats. That's fantastic. How did you find that person? What happened?
Oh, no, I said no. I'm just on my
Oh,
very first
On
party.
the very first party. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we do, we're going to need to break it down. Okay. So if the end goal is signing a new consultant, there's obviously steps before that. What are some of the steps you think that you might need to take to get to the point where somebody is ready to join your team? Just shout them out. What do you think might need to happen?
Have them host a party.
Yep, absolutely. What else?
Thinking.
Anything you might
have
need
to
to
sell
do?
yourself.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You have to sell yourself.
Is it selling yourself, or is it
Yeah.
or is it talking about what Pampered Chef has?
Yeah. Talking about Pampered Chef.
That's what I mean.
Yep. Okay. Absolutely. What else? You got to ask them too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the goal is to sign, let's say 3. Let's say the goal is to sign 3 consultants by the end of the year. Not every new consultant hosts a party. The majority do. You can absolutely recruit somebody without having them host, but the majority do host a party. So that makes complete sense. So let's say you're working with your hosts. Okay, that's assuming you have bookings, and that's the training for next month, okay? Assuming you have bookings. We're going to be talking about what Pampered Chef has to offer and how it might be able to help people. The most important thing to remember is we are in a relationship business. We happen to sell kitchen tools. So it is always going to be about how can we help somebody else, always. Whether it's recruiting, whether it's hosting a party, whether it's figuring out, which pan to get, we are always thinking about the other person, how we're gonna benefit them, okay? So if we're looking at how Pampered Chef can help somebody, we need to talk about a variety of ways that it can help. So what are some benefits that you all have gotten out of your businesses so far? Just shout them out.
Meeting new people.
Yep, what else?
Extra income.
What else have you gotten?
Something to do with my time.
Products.
Absolutely. There's a bunch of different things. And there are a bunch of different reasons why people try this out. So when we're talking about it, we need to make sure that we're sharing all those different pieces, okay? So there's another training on recruiting. So without getting into super detail about recruiting specifically, do you see where I'm going with this? You kind of need to break down your steps, right? It's no different than baking cookies. You have to have all your ingredients. You got to put them in order. You got to put it in the right way, and then you get your cookies, all right? So we're looking at setting a goal. So if you want to have 3 new consultants on your team, we need to get those other pieces in place. If you want to be selling $2,500 or $3,000 a month, what are some of the things that you need to be doing to achieve that goal? What do you think? And these are things that you may or you probably know. Whether or not we're actually doing them consistently is okay, but what do we need to do to get parties on our calendar?
Asking people.
Asking who?
Friends, family. Like you said earlier, fundraising, vendor fairs.
Yeah. And always going at it with a servant heart. How can I help somebody? Okay. How many of you hosted a party before you were consultants?
I did.
Did you get some free stuff out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Fun? Are you glad you did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what we're thinking about before we're booking parties. Okay. We need to break down all the pieces. And when we're looking at a goal, so we're looking at 2 months. That's actually a really good time frame because it's not so far out that we lose sight. It is close enough in that we can kind of work with it. So if you want to be selling, or recruiting, let's say it's 3. So that means probably 2 in November and 1 in December. Okay. Because the last half of December gets a little hectic with holidays. So plan on 2 in November, 1 in December. Okay, and then if you wind up doing 2 in December, then it's a bonus. Okay, so we've got recruiting down. You're going to be doing $2,500 a month. How many of you know your show averages off the top of your head? Anybody?
Most I've done is like the high 200s.
Okay. So knowing the numbers is super important because numbers don't lie. When we sometimes think we know what's happening in a certain part of our business, but until we look at the numbers, we're really guessing. So if you don't know where to find your show average, talk to your recruiter, your upline, and we'll help you find it. But you need to know your show average. Because let's say your show average is 500, well then you need to do at least 5 parties, have at least 5 parties submitted to hit your 2,500. Has anybody ever had a show that's canceled or rescheduled?
No.
No.
No? Okay, you will. Shows will cancel, shows will reschedule. It's just part of life. So you need to make sure you've got some extra room. Just like we were talking about with recruiting. If your goal is 3, it's 2 in November, 1 in December, and that gives you space to do some more. If you have, again, just for ease of numbers, if you have a $500 show average, if you want to be submitting 2,500, you need to book 6 or 7. Worst case, you've got 2 of them that cancel, you still have 5, you're still on track. Best case, you get all 5 or all 7, and you got 3,500 instead of 2,500. You need to be able to break down the pieces of your goals to know how to get there. All right. There's a sheet that I'll put into the group, and this is a fantastic tracking sheet. It's all about numbers, and it's super simple, and it will show you exactly what's happening at your parties. It doesn't matter whether they're virtual or in person. It will be able to break down how many parties you're booking, how many are holding, how many people are attending, how many people are talking about, how many people you're talking to about the business, the bookings, how many people you sign. It is super simple, and it is extremely effective because we need to have our numbers to achieve our goals, okay? So we talked about why we set goals. We talked about why we haven't set goals, because it can be scary. So we need to get comfortable with setting goals that feel a little scary, because all of your dreams are outside of your comfort zones. All of our dreams are outside of our comfort zones. Get comfortable with being a little uncomfortable. Get comfortable with failing and failing big and knowing that you're okay. There's an ancient proverb, I believe it's Chinese, fall down 7, get up 8. Very simple, but very powerful. As long as we stay in the game, we will succeed. Doesn't matter how big your goals are. And you set SMART goals. Specific, measurable, actionable, time-bound, relevant. I kind of screwed up the letters there, but you've got really good goals. And now we work it backwards and figure out the smaller steps to get there. You guys have probably all heard, you don't climb a mountain. How do you climb a mountain? 1 step at a time. How do you eat an elephant? 1 step at a time. That's what this is talking about. Okay? It's the smaller steps that get us to those bigger goals. And your recruiter, your director will be able to help you break down some of the smaller pieces. Here's what I can tell you. If we don't have goals, we're never going to get anywhere. We'll flounder a little, we'll have a little success here, something else will happen there, and we just kind of float. But when we have a goal, we have a direction, we have a vision, we have a motivation, we have a reason to push, we have a reason to be a little uncomfortable. So I want you all to think about this. It's December 31st, you're about to have some fun for the night, you're relaxing, and you are thinking in your head, damn, I recruited 3 people. I sold $3,000 November and December. I did it. How amazing is that going to feel? And how big will you get to celebrate? You need to be in that moment in your head. Feel it. Think about it. Think about who you're telling and how you get to share with people and the excitement that you're going to have, the paychecks that you're going to get, the new people that you get to work with. We need to be so excited about our goals that we feel it, we see it, we taste it, all of it. Because when things get rough, and they will, I promise, that's what pulls us back. Knowing that I fall down 7, but get up 8. That's what keeps us going. And knowing that you've got everybody here in this group to reach out to and be like, somebody talked me off the ledge. This isn't going the way I want it to. Help me fix it. And we will. We're all in this together. And every single one of you can achieve any goal that you want to set. We're starting with November and December. We're going to get you to those goals. As long as you are willing to try some new things and be a little uncomfortable, we are here to help you get where you want to go. And we believe in every single one of you, even if you don't believe in yourself yet, because we can see it for you. Okay? What questions do you all have about goal setting in general, about the goals you have or anything that we've talked about. What questions do you have?
Very new to process. I was trying to set up Facebook.
I can barely hear you. Hold on. Try again.
It's very new to the process. So I've been trying to set up a Facebook page, but I'm not really sure like how to introduce myself. Every time I try to put my picture up, it'll say share instead of save, so that I can kind of go back and look over what I've written to see if I need to change something or add something. And I'm not ready to share yet.
Okay, so I heard some of it, but not quite all of it. You were talking about your Facebook page and you want to be able to go back to it and see, try one more time. I've got my volume up to max. I'm not sure why I can't hear you.
Okay, mine is up to max too. What I was saying is that I was trying to add my picture, profile picture, and it'll say something about this page. So when I put my profile picture here, instead of it saying save, it says share. But I haven't written anything, you know, to kind of introduce myself or introduce the business. So I want to save it before I actually share it.
Okay, so I think I heard what you were saying. And with a personal page, you're able to go back and edit and change things, or with a business page. So if you share it and you want to fix it, you can still go back and edit it.
Okay.
So if that's what your question is, then know that you can go back and edit anything at any time on your business page, and your director will be able to help you with that too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions about setting goals, sticking with them?
Okay.
How does everybody feel about the goals that you have set for yourselves?
Challenged.
Good.
Terrified.
Good. I think I have a party. Another party.
So we felt good. We felt challenged. Did I hear terrified too? I think I heard that.
Yeah.
Those are all good words, because that means that these goals are important to you. And it means that you kind of hit on the mark, because excited and scared is how we should feel when we're setting these new goals, because everything you want is just outside of your comfort zone. So you want something a little bit bigger. You want something a little bit more. So you're going to need to do something a little bit bigger and a little bit more than you've ever done before. And here's the good news. Success leaves clues. So there are tons of consultants over the years who have done what you wanted to do. We have done what you want to do. We can help you. We can show you. Nobody here is inventing the wheel by themselves. All of us who are presenting, we work together. We share ideas with each other. We learn from each other. So what you have is a roadmap, and we will be your guides, and we will help you get there. We can't do the work for you. We can't carry you up the mountain, but we know the path, and we will guide you along the path. And as long as you're willing to do the work, we will make sure we get you there, and you will get yourself there. How's that sound?
Good.
Yeah? All right, so by the end of the year, there's going to be like thousands of dollars in sales that you've never done before. You're going to have recruits that you've never had before. You're going to have more fun than you've ever had before. You're going to be more challenged. You're going to be more excited, and you are going to be more proud of yourself than you've ever been. Sound good? All right. Every single one of you can do this. Make sure you have your goals written down. Write them down and put them on your screensaver on your phone. Put them on your computer. Write them. Put them on your mirror in the bathroom. Tell your partner. Tell your best friend, this is my goal. It needs to be shared. Share it within this group. Post them on the page. But you need to share it with those who are really close to you in your life. They need to know. Tell your friends, tell your spouse, tell your kids, tell them what your goals are, because the more people that know, the more accountable we become. The first Disney trip I ever earned, I was scared to death to tell my kids, because what if I didn't get it? I couldn't let my boys down. They were little. I earned it because there was no way in hell I was going to tell my boys that I didn't do it. So tell people what your goals are, share it, and we are going to all make sure that we do everything possible so we all hit those goals. All right? You guys can do this. Thank you for investing time in yourselves tonight. Make sure that you are posting your goals, and I'm going to put this in the team page, and let's get it done. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Soon. We're super excited for all your
Thank
success.
you. Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.